Welcome, everybody, to Plus One EXP. I'm Osarix Franco, the disembodied voice of your real life stepdad and a cult leader here at Plus One EXP. We're a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design, beard and skincare alchemy, and the Bardic College of Content Creation. The dream and hope here at Plus One is to help amazing designers find great players who love their games, and find amazing players find great designers whose games they can love. Today, we are here with an incredible crew that we had not so long ago did a world building session of Machine Impossible by Smiling Mythos Games. If you check out in the bottom right hand side of the screen, you'll see ttrpg.link/Machine Impossible. It'll take you to there so you can make your own fecund city and enjoy the horrors, mysteries, and delights therein. I am now going to turn it over to Jacob, one of the co-creators of this game, to introduce the game further, as well as the cast of players that we have here. Jacob, take it away.
Mooney, I'm half of Smiling Mythos Games, the studio that built Machine Impossible, the game where you play as cyberpunk super spies fight to save the city that they love. Last week we made Fecund City. It was a whole story building session. If you missed last week's stream, don't worry about it. You're not missing any of the story. We're about to begin that today, where we jump in with Harlan, Ren, and Edge as they try to well, I haven't done the mission briefing yet, so they don't know what they're going to be trying to do. But before we jump in, let's meet our cast of players again in order from left to right in my Zoom UI. We will start with Arthur. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the character that you'll be playing.
Hello. My name is Arthur. I also go by Werewolf. That's where is in the animal, wolf, or where is in the question, wolf is in the animal. You say it enough times and eventually you get it wrong, you know. I am an actual play performer, both as a player and a game runner, mostly with Timbo the Wizard's Guild House. And I also am a game designer. I am very excited. I am playing Harlan Gentz. He is an absolute hulk of a man with giant hands. He is a pruner here in Fecund City, helping to ensure that the city doesn't grow too far outside of its bounds.
Really pleasant job.
Yeah, really, it's gonna be very visceral, a hands-on moment to experience, and I'm excited. So that's my character.
Alex, I have you next in line.
Yeah, hey gang, my name's Alex Rabitsky. My pronouns are he, they. I am a game designer, performer, and copy editor. I wear many hats, and I will be playing Ren, a genetic construction worker, formerly employed to the mega corporation of Redline, but now sort of on the run, perhaps with trade secrets. Even I got a bounty out on him. He's got a bounty out on him too.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that won't come up at all in this little adventure.
Tell us a little bit about what Ren looks like, what Ren's
Oh,
vibe
yes,
is.
please. Ren is just like someone who tried to replace sleep with Adderall. He is so tired and so sickly looking. He is lanky. He is got like stubble, kind of sweaty. He wears like a red boiler suit kind of getup that he's begun to sweat through a little bit. He's always like kind of like twitching, like looking around, just paranoid. And he does notably have like one side of his head has been shaved, and you can see like the sort of like sinuous lines that make up sort of like this subdermal alteration of his physiognomy to compensate for some of his abilities.
Nice. I've been doing mission building, which is a little bit of background world building over the course of the last week, and I realized that in world genetic construction worker is probably abbreviated to Gen Con.
I work in Gen Con. Yeah,
I work in Gen Con.
That wasn't even on my mind. Dang.
Yeah. All right, Billy, close us out.
Yeah, I'm Billy. Pronouns are he, him. Run some games, play a lot more. I'm playing Edge. Roger Lonsdale is his name that you probably won't hear him be called, but by maybe one person. Usually goes by Edge. Kind of tall and thin guy. He wears clothes that are out of style. We don't know if it's because he likes it or if he can't afford new clothes. Um, the one thing that you'll notice about him is he kind of has these bones that stick out almost like Wolverine claws over his regular fingers. If you were to peek under his clothes, you would kind of see this bone-like shell that almost goes all the way down to his heels. Um, let's see, what was he before? He worked in Mama Knowles's care, did a lot of different jobs, whether it be like what could be considered social work or handyman work. He's done it all over time.
You gave us the background of artery urchin.
Artery urchin, that's right.
Oh man. Uh yes. I'm very excited to get into this. Without any further ado, well, okay, a little bit of ado. The way that missions work in Mission Impossible is that we do kind of what you would see happen in a movie, in a spy-fi movie. Our agents are going to receive intel from Circuit, and then we're going to jump into prep scenes where each of us can jump into scenes where we're maybe tailing somebody or looking up information or sabotaging something in preparation for our mission. The mission is going to be free-form play like you would see on any other actual play. Um, and then when the mission is over, the mission is over. The other wrinkles to this are that well, I'll get into what the wrinkles are as we get into prep scenes. If everybody is ready, I'm just going to jump right into the mission briefing. Are you ready? Did everybody nod while I was on a different tab?
We did, in
Yes,
fact,
indeed we
all
did.
nod.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful.
All nod,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, cool. Okay, here we go. The mission briefing. Wherever we choose to live, that place changes us. Nowhere is that more true, I think, than Feckin City. Almost everything here is alive in some way. Shaggy rugs of glistening villi lick the grime from your boots as you enter a hardware store. The armored plates of a parked car visibly relax in the afternoon sun. Street lamps flutter their eyelids open as you walk past. Sturdy things are made of bone or chitin or shell. Bendy things are made of fiber or sinew or maybe cartilage, and pretty things are made of coral or scale or petal and feather. In a city like this one, that's literally growing beneath your feet, the only constant is change, and the only standard is deviation, except for the buildings owned by Redline Property Management. Redline Property Management's board of directors invests a lot of time, money, and precious gestalt cultivating a robust portfolio of similar looking needle-like properties that are all the color of freshly spilled blood. Their buildings don't grow old. Their buildings don't fall ill like other buildings do in this city. And their buildings are never, ever put up for sale until now. It's being kept very secret. Not even the tenants know about it. But Redline Realtors are giving tours of the high rise at 1204 East Lanugo Street. According to Eugene from accounting, one of the circuit contacts that we established last week, the scuttlebutt from inside the company is that something is wrong with this building. Rather than fix it, Redline has opted to try to pawn the building off onto an unsuspecting buyer. That way, when the building dies, it won't look like it was their fault. And then they can repurchase the plot, prune the debris, and start over, business as usual. All of this is being related to each of you over a secure group video call with Packer, one of your other circuit contacts. The grizzled one who works at a nutrient farm, and one of his limbs is just straight up a harvesting tool. The gravel in his voice almost makes you think your audio feed is cutting out as he says, "So Eugene decided to go over to the property, take a sample, run an analysis. We got a call from him around 10 p.m. saying he was packing up. The reading said the building was going through withdrawal, like from a drug withdrawal, which doesn't make any sense. Maybe, Ren, you were in Gen Con. What do you make of a building being in withdrawal from a drug?" And I would like Ren to make our first roll of the game. Your background applies here. So you're going to be taking our normal roll, which is 2 6-sided dice, and you're going to be adding 1 die for your advantage from your background.
Very good.
For those of you watching who don't know how the rules work in this game, fours, 5s, and 6s are hits, and you're trying to roll enough hits to succeed. But while that is basically a coin flip, rolling a 6 is special because you get to explode the die and add another die into your pool, and then that die can explode. So on just 2 dice, you can roll infinite successes. So Alex, what did you get?
I'll roll right now and I'll tell you.
Oh, yeah, sweet.
Okay, that is 1 success, a 6, 1 explodes. So let me reroll that. And that another 6 that explodes.
Keep going, keep going.
3 successes. Okay. Okay, so 3 successes.
3 successes. That's fantastic. Yes, a drug being used on a building, especially if it was a drug that is usually used for people, which if we're saying withdrawal, that's kind of what that implies. You would need such a large amount of drug to make a building high that it doesn't make any sense for you to talk about a building that way, much less how much you would need to get that building addicted and then for it to go through withdrawal. That is a lot of activity that would need to apparently happen without red line property management being any the wiser. You begin to think about what this could possibly mean, and the first inclinations that you have immediately are that there has to be another variable that you are not aware of. If what Eugene reported is true, there is something that you don't know about what went down at East Lanugo Street. Packer continues to say, well, unfortunately, what we do know is that Eugene did not make it home to their apartment that night. We got street cam footage of 2 goons rolling up on Eugene and picking them up, stuffing them in a car and rolling off. Now, they weren't more than 4 blocks between where they were taking the sample and where their train was. So they had to have, whoever did this had to have had surveillance on Eugene and knew exactly what they were doing, swooping in and picking him up. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, first, rescue Eugene. Second, get to the bottom of whatever's going on with this building. So those are your 2 mission objectives. In Mission Impossible, we talk about missions in terms of objectives and in terms of locks. If you were like, our mission objective is to break in, open the vault, steal the documents, and escape, those would be 4 mission objectives. And we would talk about locks like the security measures or the things that you don't know. In this case, most of your locks are things that you don't know. You don't know where Eugene is. You don't know who took Eugene. You don't know why this building is going through like a drug withdrawal. You don't know what drug the building was on. So those are your major locks keeping you from achieving those mission objectives. Something that you do know is everything that Circuit knows about the building at 1204 East Lanugo Street. Those being the following. East Lanugo Street has video surveillance. Buildings in Feckin City get to literally have eyes, and they have significant exterior and interior video surveillance that if you wanted to go in unnoticed, you'd have to do something about that. And you also know that there is increased redline activity at this location, a higher than normal volume of Gen Con workers and Gen admins are on site pretty much at all hours of the day, although again, at night it will be fewer. You would know that this is people who are doing everything that Redline can think of to kind of mask the symptoms of the withdrawal, because they're trying to flip this onto somebody else. They're playing hot potato with a 10-story building. You also know some additional things about Eugene's assailants. You know, they knew, like Packer said, they knew exactly where Eugene was going to be and when. You know that they drive a nice car, and you know that they were smart about how they did their job. They avoided getting any kind of license plate on street cam. They avoided getting their faces on street cam when they got out to grab Eugene. Those are all of the things that you know. Do you have any questions for me before we move into prep scenes?
I have a question about this building here at Lanugo Street. Since this is a living city, right? One must imagine that like our world has maintenance tunnels and like piping to like other facilities. Is there like a connection that these buildings would have to like? Is there like a what's the word I'm like for like an artery, a feed line that like buildings would share?
Like a water main, for instance.
Yeah, sure.
I think that there's
Okay.
like we have a city that works very weirdly, but I think that a lot of the things that you would expect in a city have an analog here. In the tubes and systems that connect buildings to buildings, it is like different organs in the same body. The city is its own organism and is compatible with all of its buildings that comprise it. Does anybody else have any questions?
Is there any indication, maybe from word on the street or even just like plain signage, of what the purpose of the building is? Like,
Yes,
they're all owned by Redline, but is there something specific to this one?
This is a residential building. This is a residential building. People just live here. It's not even necessarily that upper class of an establishment. It's just that Redline Property Management has all of the oldest buildings. Redline Property Management just is like a very large landowner in the city. And this is not even one of their, larger properties. Billy, do you have any questions?
No, just taking notes and following along.
Sweet. So we're going to jump into prep scenes. Like I said, this is when we see somebody tailing somebody or somebody hacking in to learn more information. The way this is going to work is each of your characters are going to be able to appear in one prep scene. We're going to go one by one, starting our prep scenes. And that means that when we start a prep scene, we'll be following one person. But if that person ends up going somewhere or doing something that you think that your character could help in, you can say, hey, I'd like to jump in, and you can just instantly be in that person's prep scene. There are a couple of rules to prep scenes that are special from other parts of the game. The first and most important one is you cannot accomplish mission objectives in prep scenes. You cannot, in other words, though you might be able to find where Eugene is, you cannot rescue Eugene in a prep scene. Though you might be able to learn some things about the building, you cannot get to the bottom of what's going on with the building in your prep scenes. But in return, you also are shielded from failure in prep scenes too. You can't get captured. You can't get killed. You can't have anything happen to you or to the city or to the mission that would like make it so that the mission was impossible to go on. Does that first bit make sense? Cool. So, all of my players know how energy and install points work for this game. To you watching at home, I'll just say that their characters have install points that is the sum total of all of the abilities that their character can do, but then they have energy points which allow them to actually turn on and off that menu of abilities. This menu of abilities is all abilities that are available, but none of them are active unless they root power into them. So you kind of are building your buffet and then you're kind of deciding what's on your plate at any given moment. So when we jump into our prep scenes, I'm going to be asking you, where do you want your energy to be when you start? And we've already gone over the rules of how you like move energy around at a moment's notice. So with that out of the way, does anybody know what they would like to use their one prep scene on?
I definitely have an idea for one, but I'm keen to hear if anyone else has a strong idea for a start.
It sounds like,
Oh, you go-
Alex, we
yeah.
should start with you.
Sure, I'm happy to do that.
So what would you like Ren to do?
Well, Ren is very much not someone who should be close to a red line building. Thankfully,
Yes.
thankfully, he does not need to be close to a red line building to do his sort of work, though it is a bit tricky. Given that he formerly worked in genetic construction, specifically with red line, he has a pretty good understanding of the literal network of the city, and he is going to be doing a very like scuffed kit bashed version of a maintenance technique called architectural dialysis, which is where he has to now typically when you're doing architectural dialysis, you can do it on site, no problem. Because I can't do that, I'm going to be effectively finding a location that I know I can like tap the vein, as it were, find a connection from one spot that I know routes through the red line building to effectively insert into that vein, IV style, right? And so I can do a sort of like analysis of information that comes through that line, effectively trying to like sort out like, okay, I'm missing a vector here. So like in analyzing the flow of information from tapping the vein,
smart.
what can I learn from the composition of what's being moved?
You're basically going to like pull a urine sample from downstream, essentially.
Basically, yeah, basically.
I love this. This is very clever. So you're going to be rolling chisel mode because you are hacking into non-cyborgs. First of all, take an influence. You get an influence whenever you hack a object because of your chisel mode. I'm assuming that you're going to put everything into chisel mode since you're walking up and doing something that is specifically.
I was actually going to say, yeah, if I was going to ask for if I could have routed only 2 of my energy into chisel mode and 1 into jet mode, because I'm very like, even though I'm removed from like the immediacy of the building, I'm nervous that I'm going to get compromised any moment and I'm ready to dash if need be.
I will say that I think that your plan is so that if you want to do the role play mechanically of Ren just being super nervous, I say more power to you. But mechanically, I think that you have made like the entire reason why you're doing this is so that you can use all of your chisel mode.
I'll put all of my chisel mode then. So because please go ahead.
Say what you were going to say.
Just because I have 3 in chisel mode, I effectively I believe I get an extra 3 influence when I hack into objects. So I'm getting 4 total.
You get 1 influence, but you get an extra 3 dice.
Oh, because it said +1 influence when you hack into objects, and then +2 influence when you hack into objects. That's where I had a little disconnect.
Cool. Those are not cumulative.
So I just get +2 influence total.
Yes, I forgot about that level 3 ability that you have since you have 3 energy in chisel mode. So yeah, you have 3 energy in chisel mode. So you have the level 1 ability, the level 2 ability, and the level 3 ability. And the level 3 ability says If you're reading the digital character sheet, you're reading the abridged version of those abilities.
Oh, sure.
In the PDF, it says you gain 2 influence whenever you roll to hack into an object or non-living thing instead of 1.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, cool. Thank you. So I'm
So
starting with 2.
you're gonna get 2 influence immediately. You are going to. I'm gonna give you 6 dice because you get 2 for always. You get 3 more for the 3 energy you have in social mode, and then you're doing Gen Con, buddy.
Doing Gen Con.
So I'm looking for like 3 hits.
Great. Yeah. And like I'd like to think that this is some sort of like effectively like dingy, almost like sewer like space, very maintenance heavy, and Ren is literally pulling out what is effectively like a spooling of like synthetic tubing and like a needle to like slot and plug and let this sort of like architectural fluid pass through it into a sort of analysis mechanism, and then once scrubbed of information passes it back into the feed. So I will roll my
you are
dice.
in a dank deep tunnel that is far too fleshy.
It's very fleshy. It's very squishy.
This is why you're always in a red boiler suit.
Indeed. Okay, so that is 2 6s so far. Those will explode, but before I do the rest, I rolled failures. Before I explode those dice, I'm going to re-roll one of my failures to see if I can get
you have
that
level 2 ability.
And that's still a failure, but I still have these 2 dice explode, so I just need 1 more to succeed.
Just need 1 more.
That's another 6. So I'm at 3, but explodes. Okay, so I hit 3 unfortunate rolls.
In credit, like this is what is amazing about this game is like you're rolling 6 dice. Like how did I effectively 7 dice with the reroll? It's like how did I not succeed? How did I not blow this out of the water? So this you don't get as much as you could have if you rolled bonkers, but you do learn that the drug that you're detecting traces of is hive mind, a drug that is not exclusively but mainly manufactured by the Zygosi mob. This is strange for many reasons. Breadline and Zygosi working together, question mark? That doesn't make any sense. That's never happened before. Zygosi mob sneaking in and dosing the building? Technically, that might be useful. When you're on hive mind, it is a overwhelming sensation of tapping into the thoughts and subvocation, the inner monologue of everybody else who is on hive mind at that point in time in the entire city. It is a way to bombard yourself, overstimulate yourself, and zone out. It's called hive mind in part because of the buzz that you get of this bombinating drone in your noggin. But buildings don't think. So that's not going to benefit the building, but it will overwhelm the building. And if you knew what to look for, you could, if you had an incredibly strong sense of focus, hone in on what the building's thoughts are, those being reflexes, impulses. Um, the elevator is being called to floor 4. That's something that the building is thinking, right? That could be very useful if you wanted to infiltrate a building. However, Gen Con, again, the amount that you would need to dose a building that is 10 stories tall or 8 or 10 stories, whatever I said, is not practical, is a silly amount. You would need several bathtubs of this highly concentrated drug to get it high for like an hour, right? So that also is not a practical thing. You still aren't having the whole picture, but you're honing in on it. And that is where we will end this prep scene. Who else would like to go?
I mean, I had an idea. I would love to get in touch with some other urchins of mine to see if they have any beat on maybe the direction Eugene was taken or the vehicle that he was taken in.
Cool. Yes. Tapping into your artery urchin background. You're also, let me see here. I will also give you, I'm not going to give you I'm also going to give you, if you want to put an energy into jet, I will give you that as helping you, hit the bricks and canvas the city, if that's what you would like to do. It's not quite a risky enough situation to gain flow from it, but it would help on your roll if you want to.
Yeah, let's do that.
Other than that point in jet mode, where else are you putting your energy as the scene starts?
Um, let's do the other two in blade mode,
Cool.
just in case.
So you're rolling 2 for always, +1 for your background, +1 for jet mode. Roll 4 dice. I think that you are looking for 2 hits or more.
4 dice.
4 dice.
Let's see. That is 1 success.
1 success. Not enough to
No
get a full
6.
success. Sad. But I do think that you get something. I do think that you get um uh I do think that you get a general direction. You don't get where they went. You don't get the identity of the people who were in the car. Um, I think that you don't find anybody who witnessed Eugene get nabbed. I think that you get a couple of people who saw the car at the right time of night that you think it is the correct car. And the path that it is tracing is going into Zygosi mob territory. I think that there's no rule that says that a prep scene has to be 1 roll long. I think that this effort of like trying to track down where did Eugene get taken is not done. So if you want to delve deeper and try to use that information to go further, you are free to do so. Also, Arthur, if you want to have Harlan jump in, feel free to do that at any time. So Billy, do you have anything that you want to try to do now that you know that Eugene seems to have been taken into Zygosi mob neighborhoods?
Yeah, I think that Edge has been around long enough. He knows the gist of Zygoses and how they kind of work. Probably interacted with him a few times, truthfully. So I think he'll do his best to keep his head down and move quick, but he will go maybe ask through some residential areas in that area. You know, he's still got connections. It might be Zygosi territory, but I know a lot of people.
Do you want to? I'll make this another roll. I would like you to roll to see how well you are acquainted with the Zygosi, and I'll give you 3 dice on this as well. 1 die will be like you know where one low-ranking member might be. Sorry, 1 hit will be that. 2 hits will be you know where a middle ranking member might be, or you actually might be friends with a low ranking member. And then 3 will be, higher seniority.
All right, and I'm rolling 3 dice. Is that
3
right?
more dice. Yep.
All right. My luck with dice today has not been great, so this is
It's
tracking.
got a turn.
That's 1 success.
1 success. So you know where a low ranking member of well, you know a bar. Um well, no, I think that it is you have a choice. You know uh that there's a what would be best? I think that you know two places. You know that there is a Zygosi mob front called um hmm, called Cafe Cannoli, which is literally coffee and cannoli. It is a cafe where they sell like Italian coffee and also Italian pastries. And it is a place where generally more senior Zygosi mafia hang out. There also is somebody that you have run into a couple of times. Their name is, I made a list of names. Their name is Bronk. Um, and they're a low-ranking member of the Zygosi mob. But you've had a couple of run-ins with them, and they have not all been completely negative. And one thing that you know about Bronk is that he likes to play slot cars, not slot machines, at a place called Penny's Slots, in Zygosi Mafia territory. So you could go to either of those places.
Oh yeah, I'll visit the low ranking member. I think I know better than to show my face where all the high rollers hang out.
It would be a very gutsy move. But far be it from me to stop players from making gutsy moves. So this neighborhood is subterranean, or some say subdermal, and it is in a layer of the city where you have kind of a cavernous opening above you. Nearby, there is a set of lungs, and periodically you will get a somewhat refreshing breeze of fresh, clean air gusting through the streets. It is You cannot see the sun, so there are those blinking overhead street lamps with eyelids that blink open as you walk beneath them. There are cars that are mixtures of, plated sides and cartilaginous bendy zones so that it can go around corners, passing you on the left as you walk past uh, the like basement uh uh business front of Penny's Slots. Through the window, through the like half hemisphere sunburst window, you can see a carpeted basement, well lit, with a front desk where there is a saleswoman in front of a bunch of shelves of slot car uh, uh, paraphernalia and a couple of large slot car racing sets. But from outside, you can't see who is at them. What do you want to do?
Oh yeah, I'll go in, start browsing, make it
Mhm.
look like I'm here. Because I just love slot cars. What am I supposed to do?
Uh, so when you walk in, you clock that Bronk is in fact here. Do you go straight up to Bronk, or do you try to stay um in the background?
I won't make it obvious. He might remember me just as
Hmm.
much as I remember him, so I'll try to take as long as I can before he picks up on me. And I definitely don't want him to pick up on me before I'm up on him, basically.
Okay. Uh, Give me just a two dice roll.
This is just gonna go escalatingly well, I think. Oh, actually, that's 1 6 into another 6. That's so 2 successes.
So you are kind of working your way around the basement, and you are within earshot of Bronk, in between races, uh, and you can tell that he is here with at least one other person who's from the mob. and this is somebody who is like annoyed that they are here. And you overhear them saying something about, we need to get back to and then they say, we need to get back to the drip. And you know that that has to be code for some kind of location. And what do you want to do with that information? That's just you overhear them saying, Bronk, we gotta get back to the drip. You can't stay here all night wasting your fucking cars. And Bronk is like, oh, lay off. Bronk is just a kind of, as his name suggests, Bronk is like kind of a dome of a person. Um, as he like walks over and like with tiny fingers pinches his slot car, it's like gone off of the edge and he needs to set it back in to finish the heat. You get the sense that he's been like cheered long enough and they're going to be back on shift somewhere soon.
I'll kind of chill. If they don't split up, I'll do my best to kind of bide my time and maybe follow them if I can.
Cool. They do indeed leave within the next 10 minutes and start making their way uh uh through the neighborhood. If you're following them, I am going to ask for a roll. This will be an opposed roll. There's a little bit of risk here. You have time to change your energy if you want to, but is this going to be a roll to like follow them successfully? And I think that jet mode definitely applies here. Blade and tank mode don't apply here, but you can you can take a flow from this since there's a little bit of risk to this. You're also an artery urchin, so this is probably something that you do. So you're gonna be rolling 2 dice for always, 1 die for jet mode, and 1 die for your background against their 2 dice.
All right.
Tell me what you get.
I got 2 successes.
Oh boy. Okay.
I know you're not exploding dice over there, are you, Jacob?
I got 3 successes on 2 dice. You let's see here. I think I want to give you a choice. Um, no, I think I have it. You find you follow them to a building where you see the car that abducted Eugene is parked in. It's not on the street. A garage shutter opens and they walk in and you peep it before the garage shutter closes. But you were not able to follow them closely enough to sneak into the building that they were having that this car resides in. But you you know the address. You know that it is a dingy old tenement in a kind of not abandoned, but like a disused part of town. The building looks old and sick. This is a city where buildings can look sick and haggard, kind of just like in real life. You can go to a building in real life and be like, this building has seen better days. But here it's like, this building, the walls shouldn't be oozing like this. It's that kind of thing. Big not big 4-story building with like kind of drooping windows and a front stoop that only has one railing remaining, no mailbox, busted windows, etc., etc. It looks condemned. Um, but one thing that you noticed as that garage closed behind them is that there were people who were guarding the inside of that building. You saw the bottoms of their feet as Bronk and whoever Bronk was hanging out with rejoined them. So you know that it is a heavily guarded building that has that car in it, and you know the exact location of it. But with that, we're going to call that the prep scene. Um, Arthur, what do you want your prep scene to be?
I have a bit of a wild pitch for you.
I'm happy. I love it.
Can I go look for my trouble?
Ooh, how do you want to do that? I feel like this person who you have told us is heavily invested in camo mode and signal mode is hard to find.
Sure. So I think that essentially the idea is he would go to some like hotspot for people who are maybe not specifically the one, but maybe kind of open to that idea of like the like heavy body modding and that kind of thing, like some sort of nightclub,
Yeah, a
and
very
make himself as obvious as possible so it's almost too tempting for them not
Gotcha.
to come fuck with me.
Okay. This is both risky
Mm,
and a long shot.
sure.
I am going to say that um, if you fail this roll, it is not going to be the end of your prep sheet unless you want it to be.
Okay.
But go ahead and give me 2 dice. On 2 dice, you need 2 successes.
Could I move all of my energy into tank mode just to like kind of flaunt my um
Oh, like the
my
muscle or
tech
whatever.
parts?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
sure. Yeah,
Um
I think it's still two. It's still just 2 dice though.
okay. Okay. So one success and it explodes.
Okay.
And it explodes again. Come on. I
Okay.
believe in me.
Success.
And that one's a 4. So we got 2 6s and a
You have
4.
3 successes on two
Yeah.
dice. Can you give some of your luck to Billy?
Please. It's been bad today.
That's gonna be it. That's all I'm gonna have for the rest of the night. If it makes you feel better,
Arthur, I would like you to give me the name of this club and one distinguishing feature about it.
totally. We see it's the end of a work day
Uh-huh.
as Harlan is there at the edge of the city.
After pruning.
Yeah, after pruning. And he um like as he's leaving, instead of going back in towards the city, he actually pushes further out into
Oh.
the sort of more wild areas.
Whoa.
And there
It's a
is
club
this
in the place that's like kind of near where the pruning happens.
exactly.
Wild.
Um, and I think that this club, we're going to call it hmm,
I have a name if you don't.
give me a second. I okay.
By the way,
It's
my
called
yeah.
the gall, Gall, like a
Oh
tree
yeah, yeah,
gets a
like the
gall
gallbladder,
when yeah,
or like bile.
or like trees when they get injured, they form these like
Yes,
masses of
yes,
uncontrolled growth to
yes.
kind of cover the injury. And it's like it is like there was some sort of injury that happened to the edge of the city here, and a building just kind of exploded up out of it. It's
Yeah.
like kind of
It's like a
warehouse
dermal.
club sort of
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah, I love that. I think that I want this to be like exactly what you said. It's like a hard, like like inflamed tissue growth right on the bleeding edge of the city. It's kind of a domed building. The reason why it hasn't been pruned is like the wound that the city was healing from was pruning. So like pruning actually made this building. When you go inside, it is not a convenient floor plan. It's kind of like this is kind of like a path through a mass of tendons and pink and white looking striated connective tissue, and the path kind of follows almost what you would expect from like a woodland path. It's like, oh, we're going up down a hill. Nothing's been leveled, nothing's been like finely constructed, and everything's just a little bit rubbery.
Can I add a gross detail?
Please do.
You know how like in a normal club or grunge bar setting, you have just sort of like the bass of the walls, just the
Yes.
well, that's present, but it's because it's the sort of subdermal throbbing of a cyst.
Yes, yes. It's like all
Yeah.
of the capillaries here are
Mhm.
receiving blood from something. So you're actually hearing the heartbeat of the city just the same way that you can like if like you can hear or feel your own heartbeat in times of stress. That is really cool. And this is what they're like dancing to. They have the songs have to be at a set BPM here. Um
Absolutely.
uh
And Harlan, he has these like huge hands as part of his like cyborg kind of
mhm,
tech stuff,
mhm.
and they have literal like calcified calluses, and you
Cool.
see as he pushes all the energy into his shield mode,
Yeah.
he gets bulkier and more angular, like he's like kind of turning into a rock, and that calcium like travels up his body, and you see he's just like the kind of encrusted in this look, and he goes out on the dance floor and
If
makes
you,
a scene.
if your cyborg mode is like putting armor over you, that is tank mode, not shield mode. Although if you
Oh, you're
want
right.
to is that a change you want to make, or do you want it to be shield mode and like visually it's some kind of like hovering barrier that you project?
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah.
No roles have been made, so you can continue with your description, have it be tank mode, and just like shift your install points over, or you could have it be in shield mode, and that like calcification can be like something that you
It's
project remotely somehow.
yeah, it's like oh, it's like so there are these like calcified parts, and the light is kind of reflecting off of it, almost like kind of that's what's creating the hard light reflection, or like constructs, is the reflection off of that stone, you know?
Whoa.
Yeah,
Like a kind of like a what's it like that space Godzilla thing where like they have these like
exactly.
crystal almost growths and like so like you see the lighting in a club like refracting through these growths on Harlan's shoulders and forearms and knuckles and like um uh like the light coming off of like one of those like window treatments. There's like all of this like almost like a disco ball kind of thing coming out, and you have these like shields coming up around you, and people physically have to give you a little bit more space as you walk through, as you pass through the crowd. Um, and the music is oomph, 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 oomph. And you see people are like um, they're getting drinks, they're dancing like just crazy. Some people are pouring sweat, some people are pouring some kind of something over themselves just so that they can like whip their hair around and like throw all this like gross goop everywhere. It is a fire hazard. People are tripping and slipping all over the place, slipping on weird, just like liquid on the floor, tripping over a tendon that comes out of the wall weird. And um, you get approached by somebody who, yeah, you get approached by somebody who you don't recognize, and they say, um, this is somebody who has like one of the most vicious undercuts you've ever seen, but still with like very long hair. It's all like, because it is wet, it is all like kind of like um uh sticking together down their shoulder, pale skin, pink hair, wiry frame, like netted top, and uh they say, I don't see you around here very often. What's your story?
Looking for an old friend.
What's their name? Maybe I know them if they're here often.
Mm. Their name is Jules. They like to hang around a place like this.
Jules. What do they look like?
That is the problem, isn't it? They can just about look like anything they want to.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll let you know if I hear anything. In the meantime, can I get you a drink?
He looks at them and goes, sure.
What do you have? What are you drinking? What's your spirit of choice?
Hmm. I'll have the house special. Looks like everyone's enjoying it.
Um, they head off to the bar. They motion for you to follow. And they get two of this mystery drink that you cannot tell anything about this drink. It comes in like the equivalent of a solo cup, but it looks like it's from the future. It's all angular, but it's definitely still a solo cup.
Sure.
And in this lighting, everything looks like it is the same color. So this is just mystery liquid to you. I would like you to roll me 2 dice for me, please.
Okay.
You're trying to get uh um you're trying to get one or more successes, one or more hits.
Okay. I didn't.
Okay, sure, that's fine. Um,
I'm waiting for
you,
Jacob to hit us with the roll 2 dice. I need you to hit 4 more successes.
I need you to hit 9 successes on 2 dice. You take the drink, and they say, uh, they look you up and down, and they're like, why do you look like shit right now? Not that I don't dig it, but did you just come back from pruning?
Yeah, a little bit tough day at work.
Are you actually not screwing with me right now? You actually just come back from pruning?
And he looks at them and thinks about where he is right now, and he goes, yeah.
That's hardcore. That is hardcore. All right. I mean, pruning made this place. Uh, uh, what makes you want to? I didn't feel like people who do that would want to be here.
And he kind of looks around and goes, yeah, I mean, it's a cool spot. It's not really my deal, but I Jules and I go way back, and what I'm dealing with right now in the city, I'm hoping that they're not involved with. So thought I might try and find them.
You're like a full 2 heads taller than this person, and like 3 of them wide.
Sure.
They reach out and touch a hand to your shoulder, and they say, tell me about it. Tell me about this Jules person. What are they into that you're so afraid of, or what are you afraid of that they're into?
I mean, you know what I do for work, and uh this is the kind of scene that Jules is into, but ran into pretty large amounts of hive mind and worried that
Is this Jules person in the with the Zygosi? With the Zyguys?
not quite worried that the one might be involved.
The one. They're
You know, hive
excited. They're
mind,
like excited that
zygote, yeah.
when you're talking about the one, they're like, oh, it's they clearly they're like that excites me.
Yeah.
Do you keep talking to this person or do you like disengage?
Um, do I have any inclination that this might be Jules fucking with me?
You do not.
Okay. He goes, uh, yeah, you know, the zygotes are, you know, the ones pushing it, but you know, for obvious reasons, the one would be into hive mind, especially when it came in contact with a building.
Oh, a building. That's
Yeah,
fucking fascinating. They're going to keep talking to you.
sure.
And at a certain point in time, they're going to uh, see if you want to follow them into the bathroom.
Sure.
Okay. Give me another 2d6 roll.
Okay.
You're looking for 2 or higher on this roll.
Okay. So a 4 and a 6 and another four.
Okay.
So 3.
3. You've been drugged.
Yeah.
And it's starting to hit you as you were sitting down to talk with them, and then they invite you to a more quiet location. You get up, your head is swimming. You did not have that much to drink. This is Jules
Yeah.
for sure now, and they're like leading you to the bathroom. They don't know that you have made this conclusion.
Um and I think he's following Jules and he gets closer and he goes, "You don't think I didn't notice?"
You're in the middle of the dance floor. There's a
Yeah,
little bit of a halo around you because you're still going with the like hard light barriers, which sadly did not do anything to prevent you from being
sure.
drugged. And they start to laugh and they change their voice. You said that this person has loose fitting like linen clothing and gives off mystique vibes from the 2000s X-Men. They turn around, slick their hair back, it changes. That like light cotton linen baggy clothing, almost like religious, like tan and black only. Um, almost like religious vestments. Um, just kind of like uh the hologram that they've been projecting just bleeds away vertically down, and they give you just this like impetuous look. They still have to look up at you because they are still not as tall as you, although they are taller than they were pretending to be. um and they say, Harlan, you catch on fast, but not fast
I'm
enough.
fast enough,
Not
but
fast
hey,
enough. So you're here. What is
looking for you.
this? I know. What is this about a building and hive mind?
I was hoping to ask you. Felt like the kind of thing that, you know, your crew you're running with these days might know about.
I might. The one is everywhere, and the one knows everything. So I definitely have an answer to your question. My question, though, is what are you willing to pay for it?
What's your price?
My price is Huh. My price is I want you to steal for me some Gestalt from Red Line Property Management.
And what would you, Jules? I would say one of the more prominent members of the one want with Gestalt. Primo stuff from Redline.
Oh, you know what we want with it, Harlan. You know what we want. We'll use it. We'll blend it. We'll contaminate it. We'll bogart it, destroy it, burn it. Every ounce of Gestalt that we have is an ounce of Gestalt that they don't.
Fine.
Good. Then I'll get in contact with you through a they give you a like a burner email address, essentially, like a burner
Sure.
like a VPN, basically, where like you can Dropbox me files and I can Dropbox you files, and neither of us needs to be us to do so. They say that they'll get in touch with you, and they say that once you pull off that heist, they can tell you whatever you want to know. Um, and then they disappear.
And I think he's standing there on the dance floor, and there is kind of that, like, the cinematic view of it is like there's all the people dancing and there's the beat from the building, and like he's looking out after them, and you see there's just kind of like a glow, like a kind of like a underlighting from all of his like hard light constructs as he's
Yeah.
staring off after them.
I would like you to roll me another final 2d6 roll.
Cool.
This time I'm rolling against you.
Just two that time, a 4 and a 5.
Just two. Okay. Um, you as they leave, you this is a feeling that is new. This has not happened. None of your earlier failures were this, but you feel their fingers psychically trying to infiltrate your mind with signal mode, but they are unsuccessful. And that is the end of that prep scene. So we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to jump into the mission. See you in 10 minutes.
We now return to our actual play of Machine Impossible. And without further ado, here's the crew.
So we know where roughly Eugene is. We know that something weird is going on with 1204 East. I forgot the name of the building already. 1204 East Lanugo Street. It has something to do with the drug hive mind commonly manufactured by the Zygosi mob. And the Zygosi mob are the ones who abducted Eugene. You don't know much more other than that. But Harlan was able to reach out to their trouble, Jules, their childhood sweetheart, who has since joined an vaguely apocalyptic flesh grafting cult, and has promised them information if they do a huge favor for them. We're going to jump into the mission proper. The first thing that is going to happen is I'm going to ask you all where you would like to begin. You can begin anywhere in the universe as long as that place does not take a roll to get there. Also, feel free to plot and plan a little bit about the mission and what you want to achieve. Most missions are a little bit more focused. This one's you could do one of a couple of things. So once you have figured out what you would like to start with, I'll be asking you where you want to start, and also I'll be asking where you want to put your energy. So where would you like to start, and what would you like to try to accomplish with this mission first?
I think Ren is very much classic, guy in the chair, mostly because the extreme paranoia of being anywhere near an actual red line facility is enough to probably drive him from being like immediately on site. So I imagine whatever is happening, whatever is going to be doing, it's going to be from like the peripheral architectural hacking that we kind of talked about during the prep, doing things off-site but still engaging with the crew through whatever means we have of communicating.
That is for sure possible. I do want to just say that you can venture into red line management. Your trouble will only result in people recognizing you if you don't hide from them. But also you get paid if your trouble causes you trouble.
This is very true.
When your trouble causes you trouble on a mission, you get 2 resources of one type and 2 resources of another type. So
and I think I'll reframe this just to say that I think what Ren will be doing at the very least is accessing the building through as low key of a means as possible, like a maintenance entrance, or just trying to laden with bags, head low, just trying to get to access points to help the crew while also not drawing attention to himself.
That's if you're even going after a red line management facility, right? Because you could try to do the heist that that Jules put you up to. Notably, there is no prep scene. There are no prep scenes for that heist. You just have to jump into it because the clock is ticking for Eugene.
Yeah.
Ren would absolutely be opposed to this. I know that Harlan and Ren have beef kind of going on.
Yeah,
rivalry. I absolutely think if this was a thing that maybe would have gotten brought up in a previous meeting, that Ren is almost manic about it, being he's yo, you got to be fucking kidding me. He's absolutely not, under no circumstances. He is fully against that concept.
I think Harlan looks at him, decides not worth the time. And I think although the building thing is tough, it's one of those, we're living in a biotech cyberpunk city. There's always going to be other problems. So he is going to focus on the Eugene one. And I think that he is kind of posing as a contractor doing some pruning work in the Zygotsy neighborhood so that he can get closer to the building and maybe maybe that's some cover for Ren and Harlan as they're getting closer. Is they're like posing as if they're working on some building or something closer to the target building.
How do you want to what kind of what form does that cover take? Like, are you going up and talking to the from the exterior? From the exterior, you would not know that there is anybody in this building. Like, they do not have guards posted outside of the building. They are making this building look like nobody is here. So you can walk straight up to the front door. It's just that probably you'll get shot at.
Sure.
I mean, if you're open to some assistance, I also just love the idea of like both Harlan and Ren doing like work together, like some like genetic contracting or construction, air quotes, on the outsides. Probably rife for disagreement, but all this like talk of like, okay, if we just go in there, we're just gonna get shot, blah 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 blah. It's like, just okay, let me do my fucking gig, like plug in, find some access point. Let's at least get the lay of the land of this neighborhood, and maybe like try to get the goons. So you're thinking so limited, Harlan. It's not a matter of just opening doors and looking into corners. You can tap into the right vein. You can find out exactly who is where and how they can be exploited. But most importantly, we can find if there are means of access that are otherwise unseeable.
Could we? I think that might be the flashback of us trying to pinpoint a location, maybe somewhere in the umbilical that we can like create a hole in the side of to get into the building, like from underneath.
Oh, okay. So you want to undermine the building and then pop up through it.
Yeah. That
Okay, cool.
yeah.
I will say that this will be our first flashback. I will say that the closeness is going to be up to a roll. So one or the other of you, I would like you to roll me 2d6 and just tell me how many successes you get.
Oh well, I'll take the roll.
Hell yeah.
Sure, why not? 2d6. Oh boy. That is one success.
One success. Okay. You're not going to be able to make this chisel mode roll here in this flashback, but you do know that you can get, like, you know that if you get that close, you will risk something, but you do know that there is a way to get that close to do this thing that you were talking about. You have your location to begin from. And that's a flashback. So I'm going to roll a misfortune die, see how much misfortune I rack up. And if you well, it's obvious whether or not I explode or not, but I'm not going to say whether or not I got a success or not. For those of you who are not familiar with the misfortune mechanic, every time they do a flashback, I get to roll more dice, and the more hits I get on those dice, the more twists and like plot turns I get to throw into their way and trip them up with. So that's a flashback. So you can begin the mission underneath the this place that was codenamed the Drip by Bronk, if you wish to.
I love the idea of just like, yeah, cut to the two of us moving on the tunnels and just like Ren, like, like glancing over his shoulder, like scratching his neck and being like, can't believe you were considering that job from the one. Just very much still bickering about it.
It's like you can hear your footsteps uncomfortable squelching.
Yeah.
Billy, are you with them, or are you going to try to get into the building another way? Both are equally viable.
So we're going in through a different way. Do we think the entry time will draw attention? Or are we trying to be like totally covert about the whole thing?
You know what you know about this building that is heavily guarded. So covert is obviously best, but also you know that there's going to be people who have eyes on Eugene. So it may be unavoidable. The chisel mode roll that Ren will make and I think one of you also has chisel mode. You can you can help. But that roll, when we do it, will kind of tell you more about the lay of land inside of the building. And that's a long way of saying you don't know if busting a hole through the bottom of this will be covert or if it will instantly draw attention.
And is this, am I right in my visual understanding that this building is kind of by itself in an area? Is there any overlooking or anything like that from other buildings?
There it has neighbors, but it is like, there's an alley on this side, there's an alley on that side. It is a low 4-story apartment building, longer than it is wide, and it looks condemned. And the buildings on either side of it also don't look too hot. And we know that it has a garage that goes into the ground. That is what we know about the building. So the answer to your question is yes. There would be buildings that are nearby enough that, like, even though they don't like loom over it, you could maybe like leap from rooftop to rooftop.
I think I'll be down there with them.
Okay, cool. Let's jump straight to this chisel mode. Actually, where's everybody's energy going to be? Keep in mind that the first thing we're going to do is this chisel mode roll.
Do I have to have energy assigned to my chisel mode to help with the roll?
Yes, if you want to help.
Okay. Then I'm going to do 1 on my chisel mode and then 2 on shield mode.
I will have like allocated 1 from my chisel mode. I'm going to move it over into jet mode because I'm ready to fucking move quick if we need to be on the lam here.
So Harlan is 1 chisel, 2 what?
Shield.
Ren is 2 chisel, 1 jet.
Mm-hmm.
And how about Edge?
Edge is 2 blade and 1 jet.
Sounds good. Okay.
What I would say, Alex, is I could switch all of mine to shield mode and would get the +4 armor, so I could instantly double someone's defense dice. But then I would be taking away the additional dice to chisel mode. So, like, if you wanted to allocate away from jet, knowing you have more protection, does that make sense?
It does. I think I'm going to hold on to the jet, if only
Okay.
just because if things get hairy, I want it to be there without a complication.
Perfect.
I like where your head's at.
Okay, so we're going to be rolling 3 dice, and Ren is going to be contributing 1 reroll to these dice.
Okay, cool. And 3 dice. And okay, cool. 1 reroll. And that's, yeah, I have my reroll to this. All right, here.
Yeah, you have your rerolls of this, yes.
Okay, that's 1 success. I'm going to reroll.
Yep.
Left, right off of the desk. It's 2 successes.
2 successes total. Okay. Ren, take a influence. Harlan, take an influence for the hacking that you just did. You learn that there are 5 people, 6 people directly above you. You are beneath the garage. And you know that there are no people anywhere else in the building. Only the garage in the basement is populated. One of these people is Eugene, and they're basically you're like looking at there's no video surveillance here. This building doesn't have eyes. This building barely had you have a building has like good bones. This building has bad bones. But you are getting you're hacking into the tactile sensors of the building. You're hacking into the building's nerves, and you are telling from pressure points, that's a 200-pound man. This is a 275-pound person. This is a chair with a person on it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Now, as per, please tell me if you think this would work or not in our funky little flesh world. With the concept of chisel mode being able to like spending influence to command hacked objects, would that be limited to like a smaller scale, or would we be able to technically, like, since we're hacking the building, alter the architecture of it because of its like living structure?
I would say that you hacked the building. But where that scale comes into play is that's why the power says ask the GM what you want to do,
Sure.
and they'll charge you influence as they see fit.
Okay,
So
well that makes sense. Then in that case,
yeah, if you're like, I want the walls to turn to spikes and impale somebody, I'm not going to be like, all right, 6 influence, like
sure.
six
in this case,
influence and roll, make an attack, or like 3 influence
Yeah.
and make an attack roll, or they're like,
Okay.
it would be costly, but like,
sure.
yeah.
I'm at least intrigued by the idea of like, if they're right above us, can I hack the building to have or spend influence if I have enough to effectively have an orifice open up to drop the people in the room above us into the tunnel with us, so we can like spring the jaws of our trap shut as and grab Eugene in the chaos.
I would say that would take either 4 influence or 2 influence and a roll.
I'll take 2 influence in the roll.
2 influence and a roll, and the roll will determine how clean this is.
Sure.
All right, so go -2 influence, and this is another chisel mode roll. So you and Harlan can help each other on this, unless you want to take the time to change where your energy is at, because you know that a fight is going to start.
I would love to shift energy over to shield mode.
Cool.
Yeah. Or should I put one in hammer mode? Billy, you have some combat stuff too, right?
I just got
Attack
2 in
mode.
blade, 1 in jet.
2 in blade, yeah.
Yeah, Ren is fully saying like, all right, I'm going to need you two to be really prepared. And I mean, really, really prepared. The ceiling's literally about to give in here.
Yeah, I think when he says that too, I like press myself and you can hear like the bones kind of cracking, like he's getting ready. I'm going to shift an energy from jet mode to tank mode.
Oh, cool. Yeah. What does tank mode look like for Edge?
I think this kind of like, you can't see it under his clothes, but he has almost like a bone shell that covers the outside.
Yeah.
And I think, they kind of calcify a bit when he pushes his energy into it.
Got you. His features get a little bit sharper.
Yeah, like higher cheekbones.
And Arthur, you said that Harlan is going to change their energy as well.
Yes, I'm going to. I'll move my chisel mode over to hammer mode.
2 shield, 1 hammer.
Yes, sir.
And is Ren going with 2 chisel, 1 jet, or all chisel?
I'm gonna stick with the 2 chisel, 1 jet.
Cool. All right. So you are, what is the wording on this? I should know. I wrote it. I don't remember anything. Chisel mode. I'm just checking to see if you will get yet another set of influence from this. Yeah, so you're going to get another influence from this, no matter how many successes you get. So give yourself 1 more influence in this moment, and now let's have a roll. We're going to just see how clean this is.
3 dice because I'm using my construction. What I assume would help here.
Yes. So 5 total.
5 total. Okay, cool. Yep. And just to give a little bit of an idea of what this hacking looks like, there's like a port orifice in the tunnel, and like Ren has to he rolls his sleeve up to his clavicle and takes out like a tube of interfacing jelly, which is literally just some sort of like slick lubricant
like
like
a
thing.
saline
Yeah, just like
gel.
it just like has to like slot his arm into the wall. It has to be like and like work the like tendons to find the way to make it change.
So what you're telling me is that like the same thing that happens when a droid hacks a thing in Star Wars, you have to do just what with your whole arm.
With my whole arm. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great image.
Yeah. Okay, it's not the worst. That's 2 successes. I will re-roll 1.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, critical mode. That's 2 successes.
2 successes total. Okay. Not as clean as it could be, but not that dirty either. So here's what happens.
I do think Ren will actually say, like, as he like manipulating, he's like, this building's got bad bones.
Yeah. It does. And you are basically like you're like, oh, I can't do what I want to do. If this building were like cleaner or like more easy to work with, and you basically like a cheap t-shirt ripping down the center. The kind of like weird, already kind of like disconcertedly sagging ceiling here, like rolls open and then rips. And before it rips, you hear a whole bunch of like, the fuck's going on? And then it rips open. You see a chair plummet. Eugene hits the ground. It's good that this isn't concrete because Eugene probably would have knocked themselves out with the way that their back of their head like slams into the ground. They're bound to this chair. Um, uh, 2 of the 5 people is fully prone in the muck as they fall. 3 of them are remaining standing. I'm going to take a second to talk a little bit about combat because we're about to get in it. Unless the enemies do a good job of ambushing you, which this is definitely the opposite of that, player characters always go first. After all player characters go, then enemies go. On your turn, you're going to get 2 actions. An action is whatever seems significant enough to be an action, but some actions include moving, attacking, changing your energy without taking damage. That's one action. Trying to create an advantage, like I trip them or I blind them or something like that, etc., etc., etc. One thing is that even though you can like move for your 2 actions, you cannot attack for your 2 actions. You can only attack 1 time, unless you're in blade mode, in which case you could break the rules. The last important thing I'll say about combat, two important things I'll say about combat. Um, Ranges matter. I said in last week's stream that the system doesn't really distinguish between ranged and melee attacks. That wasn't completely true. The rolls are exactly the same, the skills are exactly the same, but if you have enemies who are within close range of you, you can only attack those enemies. In other words, you can't split focus if there's people up in your grill. So if you want to focus fire an enemy down, you can't do that if other enemies rush you. But also the reverse is true. If you have a squishy person in your party, like Ren, you want to get up in multiple enemies' faces so that they can't go, a squishy, kill. The last thing I'll say is that there's 2 types of enemies in this game. There's mooks and then there's elites. One of these people is an elite, and it's not hard to tell who. One of them is the Harlan of their group, and is like a beefy MFer who is like much taller than the others, but the others also don't look shabby. On the beginning uh if you're keeping track at home and you're like, wait a minute, does the GM have to track all of the energy and all of the resources of all of the enemies? The way that resources work for the enemies is that mooks generate one resource of any type at the beginning of their turn, and elites generate 2 resources of any type at the beginning of their turn. So they don't generate resources the same way that you guys do. but the elites do have all the same abilities that you guys do. All right, that's enough tutorial. We're going to jump in with your guys' turns. You are all within close range of all of these people. And actually, yeah, you are within close range of all of these people. No, wait, that doesn't make any sense. There's close, medium, and long range. Let's do medium range. Everybody is within 30 feet of one another. Close range is close enough to touch. So I think that everybody is within medium range of each other when this fight starts. Who would like to go first, and what would you like to do?
I mean, I think it's only proper that I take a stab at somebody.
Pun intended.
You said there was a couple that fell prone or anything or something like that.
Yes, there's 2 that fell prone, which will absolutely be advantages for you.
Yeah. I'd like to close the distance to just basically he's going to explode towards the nearest enemy, preferably that is on the ground, and basically try to plunge his bone knife hands straight through him while he's on the floor.
Nice. They are rolling 2 dice to defend. And you have 2 in blade, so you're rolling 4 dice to attack.
And I believe I generate a fury for attacking.
Yes. Oh boy.
I got 1 success on 4
Well,
dice.
unfortunately, that does not eliminate this mook. Mooks don't have health. You just damage them in a single turn. They did roll 0 successes, but they have a damage threshold of 2. So you come in.
Oh, wait, I can re-roll an
your-
attack die. I
yeah,
can
did you
re-roll
also
one.
add a die for your advantage? They're prone.
Oh, I did not. I'll do that.
You only need 1 more success to defeat this mook.
Tell that to my dice. I rolled 1. Got it. Here's my second one. Nope, nothing.
Oh no!
That's what, like 1 success on 5 dice.
You had 4 dice, you re-rolled 1, and you had an advantage, so it's kind of like 1 success on 6 dice.
Yeah.
Your luck will turn. I believe in you.
I appreciate it. I need the belief. I need it.
Who wants to be up next?
So when people fell, was it all 6 fell inside, or are there still a couple?
All
Up
6
top.
fell inside.
Okay,
Eugene is here, and the 5 other Psygozi mafiosos.
And Eugene is still strapped to the chair.
Eugene is strapped to the chair and prone, kind of in the center of everybody.
I mean, obviously, we were going to want him out of that chair anyway. Okay. I'm going to push in, and I I want to get him out of the chair quickly. I'm just going to try and smash the chair.
Okay. I'll just point this out. There's 5 enemies, including 1 nasty person. If
Yeah.
you go for Eugene, nobody is running interference on stopping them from closing on Ren. You can shield them with shield mode though.
Yeah. That is part of my plan. So I guess before my turn, would I be able to take the hit on energy? And because I can't shield, well, okay, Rin could survive 1 turn, right? We feel like Rin could survive 1 turn.
I don't know.
Well, now that you've said it,
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to move in. I'm gonna take the bet that Harlan just goes, he turns and looks at Ren and goes, "Don't die," and we'll go run in, taking his 1 fury and 2 armor on this turn.
Yep.
And is going to just 2 hands up above the head and just smash them in on the chair to try and break it.
I am not going to make you roll to do that. That is just
Perfect.
another action. So one
Cool.
action, close with Eugene. Other action, smash Eugene out of the stuff. Eugene's their bindings, which were like living cellophane wrap, loose now that the chair is destroyed. They're like they're like, again, we've described Eugene as this nebbish, long
Right.
fingers, large eyes, and they're like profusely thanking you, and that's Harlan's turn. We'll go now to Ren. What you doing?
Yeah, Ren is like was busy with his work, and then he's just like, all right, looks up and then just sees there's like, oh god, there's a lot of people here, and then sees like Harlan like turning around, and he's like, what? And then just I think
Was this the plan?
Was this the plan? Yeah, just get his arm out of there, and I'm going to. I have some dudes around me. I think I need to just be juking them. I think I need to be like panic ducking and weaving throughout this mess as I'm trying to avoid getting dogpiled.
Mhm. It sounds to me like you want to spend an action to move your energy and then spend an action to get out of there.
Yeah, I'll spend an action to route one from Chisel into another into jet mode. And yeah, okay, so I'll move it into jet mode. So I have 2 in jet now.
Mhm.
Yeah, because he is like this feels like this is not ideal to be in the middle of all these guys. And because I am in jet mode, I get to move 2 ranges in combat. So I get to just be suddenly very fast, and I'm trying to get out of like immediate harm's way to at least I'm not trying to like leave the scene and abandon my team, but like put enough distance where I'm out of immediate danger and buy myself time for the rest of my the other things to unfold.
Either way that you want to move, because you're in a tunnel, you will have to move past people, but
Sure.
also either way that you want to move, you've got the movement to get to long range from them.
Sure.
So if they want to close, unless they somehow too have jet mode, they will need to spend 2 actions to close on you. Basically spend their entire turn coming up to you. But whenever you move like through somebody or past somebody, you have to, if they could stop you, you have to beat them in a roll to do that. This will be risky, so you'll get a flow from this for jet mode.
Love it. Love using flow. All right,
And
so
then,
that's 4 dice total because 2 and 2.
Yes,
All right,
it's
cool.
4 dice total.
All right.
What'd you get?
That is 1 success. Reroll another. Okay, 1 success.
1 success. I'm going to give you an option. I'm going to give you a choice.
Okay.
Either you fail or you succeed but take 1 damage as somebody gets like a lucky hit on you as you pass them.
What would failure possibly look like? It's just me, like locked in here, and I'm going to get dogpiled.
I would give you the option of like you remain in medium range from everybody, or you are in close range with some of them and a long range from others. Like you either stay where you are or you move in a direction, but not as far as you wanted to.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Like for instance, I could say like you choose to be as far as possible away from the huge guy.
Sure. I think if I can do that without taking harm, I will still be in danger. Yeah.
Cool. Yes. So I'm going to say that there's a huge guy and a mook on kind of like one side of you, and then there's 2 prone mooks and a standing mook on the other side of you. You go over there to them.
Yeah, I love the visual of like it just like turn and spin, like get away from this guy, what? Yeah. And then immediately just like run into like another like grouping of them, eyebrows halfway up his forehead, and like looking around in a panic.
Right. What does jet mode look like for Ren?
In the same way that we described it for Eugene during world building, which is there's something very like sinuous, maybe even like spider-like about some of like the movements where it's like extra cartilaginous buildup allows like more like rapid, like kind of like double jointed, like quick release and snap of certain joints to like move. Yeah.
You're like juking one way, leaping fully across the width of the tunnel and up like 6 feet and like trying to run along the wall, and somebody reaches up, grabs you, and pulls you down before you can get past them.
Sick.
That is all of your turns. Bad guys go. They are going to, let's see, there's somebody in close range with Edge. They're going to attack Edge. This is a mook. They're going to roll 3 dice. Edge has 1 in tank mode. So Edge will also be rolling 3 dice.
Okay.
And tank mode's wording is
+1 armor whenever an enemy attacks an ally.
someone other than you. So you do not get armor for this. But you will get armor for the others. So what did you roll in your defense?
Hold on, I'm still going.
That's a good sign.
That's two successes.
Two
explosions.
successes. They rolled 2 successes. I'm gonna be honest. These are people who are here to just be like nasty flankers for the big guy. So they have just like they have arms that like grow spikes, and they're using them like cudgels. So they're just coming down on you, and your tank mode is like doing you a favor. That's that person. One of these people is going to close with let's see, Harlan is currently in 2 shield, 1 hammer. It just does not seem like a great idea to close with that person. So 2 of these are going to be on Ren. They're rolling 3 dice to attack. Ren is rolling 2 dice to defend, I believe.
Yes, that's correct.
Cool. So the first attack, 2 successes.
Okay, it's a 6. So hold on. Another 6, 2 successes.
You take no damage.
Yeah, nothing extra special, but yeah, dude, cool.
They, with second attack, 1 success.
Okay. Yeah, no, I take that hit.
1 damage.
Cool.
You block the first attack as the second one, like right in your back. You're going to be feeling that tomorrow. The other half of the tunnel closes in on Harlan. The first is another one of these mooks. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then him. Yeah, so 3 dice to your 4, I think, because you are 2 shield, 1 hammer. 1 success. And then Arthur, you are muted if you are speaking.
Yeah, you're good. I was trying to find the Zoom window. Okay, so I'm going to re-roll that one because of my shield mode. And that's 2 successes.
Okay, so you take no damage. The big guy is going to close in. Whoops, that's not the correct window. They are going to dump all of the fury that they've made this round, and they're going to hit you with hammer mode. This person comes up, they have their fists are fully on pistons that run the length of their forearm. They come back and like like a revolver, like the hammer cock sound happens, and they just like unload with this piston punch. So they're going to be rolling 5 dice and adding 3 successes.
Okay.
Tuck the
Party.
chin. Tuck the chin on this one.
What did you get?
Okay, so
2 successes
that
over
one.
here. 2 successes before adding 3, so 5 successes.
Okay,
Could have been
then
a
I'm going
lot
to be
worse.
taking. So I rolled 3, so I'll be taking 2 points of damage, right?
I rolled 2 successes. I rolled 5. So I rolled 5 successes. You rolled how much?
3.
So the difference is 2, but because they have enough ranks in hammer mode, you're going to take 3 damage.
Okay.
Um,
Ooh.
enormous hit. The fact that you are still standing is wild. You use shield mode, coalesce a hard light shield in front of you. Those diamond protrusions are on you, and it hits the shield, and then it comes through, gets you right in the gut. Um, uh, the good news is that aside from the one of these 5 people that attacked Edge, all of the others attacked Edge's allies. You add 4 armor to your character, Edge.
Whoa.
Oh, I've been tracking it.
Back to your turn.
Yeah. So this guy, we've the big guy. We've established he's big and he's thick like a tree, huh?
You can see that they have 3 points in hammer mode and 2 points in shield mode. Or no,
Got
sorry, they have 3 points in hammer mode and a point in shield mode. They don't have 5 energy. That would be wild. But they do have 4 energy, so they're of a higher level than you.
So if I was to pay 3 armor to pull them, the book does also say or vice versa. So is this person so big that I could basically throw my little like scorpion from Mortal Kombat kind of deal? It would have a chain thing that comes out of my hand. Would I be able to yank myself to him so it's like Harlan, him, me, kind of?
Uh, I would let you do that, or I would let you do either or. I will say that I will point out that the way that that ability is worded, that happens when the attack happens. So if you wanted to, you could have taken the hit that Harlan just took. Um, like the way
Okay.
that the ability works is the attack triggers you gaining the resource, and then if you want to, you can interrupt and pull them to you or pull you to them and like intercede, take the hit, be in the way of the punch as it's coming.
Okay, got it. I will keep that in mind then. I will. Well, I'm in close range with the person I'm fighting right now, so I think I'll
Yep,
take another swipe at them.
cool. You are no longer getting your advantage because they're no longer prone, they've stood up, but you are still getting your 4 total dice.
4, yeah, and I can re-roll one.
And you can reroll 1, yes.
Let me add my fury before I forget.
You have 2
Um,
dice.
oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, Jesus. Nobody's gonna believe me when I'm about to say what I'm about to say.
I'm going to believe you. I have
Uh,
run this game enough to know.
I exploded 4 times.
Yes.
So that is, well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes total.
Okay. So you needed to beat their roll by 2 to kill them outright.
Okay.
You beat their roll by 5.
All right. So just barely got past them there on that one.
How do you obliterate this person?
Yeah, I think it's more so than power, it's kind of speed in his hands, almost like a boxer if a boxer had crazy Freddy Krueger claws. So it's like, working the body a little bit, but he's piercing him every time until finally you get the uppercut straight through the head, more or less.
Mortal Kombat, finish him.
Yep.
He is no more dead. And that's one less resource in their pocket every time that their turns come around. Who's next?
Oh, I would say if I could jump in,
Oh
my
yeah.
other action, I would like to
Oh yeah.
move closer to the big guy to try to help Harlan.
Cool. You close with the big guy and the mook that attacked Harlan are both close enough to be trading punches. So you're all in a bundle of close range people. So we've got a bundle of the big guy, the mook, Harlan, and Edge, and then we have Ren with the two other mooks that are on Ren. The good news is that both of the tankier people can support Ren from a distance. So you attack, you move. Harlan, Ren, which of you wants to act next?
I can go next. I am going to take my one fury, two armor again.
One fury, two armor.
And then I'm gonna try and take out this mook who's
Mhm.
here with us.
Yeah. Are you gonna unload your
so-
fury?
No, I'm
Okey-doke.
saving it up.
They roll 2 dice to defend, and you need to beat them by 2.
Okay. And I'm rolling 2 for my attack.
You are
Or-
rolling. You've got 1 in hammer.
Yeah,
You're rolling 3 for your attack.
3. Okay, beautiful. Okay, that's a 4, and a 5. So 3 successes.
On 2 dice, 3 successes. I got lucky.
Okay. All right.
That's
all
the
right.
gamble. That's the gamble when you decide not to cash in your fury.
Yeah.
Ren's turn.
Yeah.
Oh wait, but
yeah.
you have another action. If Harlan wants to do anything with that action.
I can't attack, so I think I'm okay.
Okay. Ren's
Yeah.
turn.
Yes, indeed. I'm hoping to generate another flow. So I'm like, let me do something quick and risky. I think because I turned ran into these guys, I'm like, okay, cool. I should get back to a viable access port if I'm in a sticky situation. And I basically want to, like, again, because I bumped right into these guys, juke again, back away from them so I can retreat to a place that I can maybe do a bit more hacking without being right up on them.
I'll let you do some hacking wirelessly.
Oh, okay, cool. It's always difficult to think like, oh, what is wireless in the world of Flash?
Yeah, wireless in this is like, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
I think that like on some level things do must have like antenna. Like
Sure.
living things do have antenna.
This is true.
In this case, they also receive radio waves and Wi-Fi.
Indeed, something synaptic, I'm sure. Okay, then cool. Then in that case, I think yeah, I'm gonna try and hack, and I have to,
if you're trying to command the building, that actually doesn't cost an action.
That's exactly what I'm thinking about doing.
Yeah.
Of like, I got these 2 guys right in front of me. Could I just sort of like suction the walls together of this part of the tunnel?
Yeah, if you're trying to if you're trying to in one fell swoop eliminate 2 enemies at once, I'm going to charge like 4 influence.
Now, because I don't have that, I will make the argument for instead of just crushing them in one fell swoop, more so like restraining them, of like like the muscular walls like squeezing together so that they can't like move and they're stuck.
Sure, 2 influence.
I will spend the 2 influence right then and there.
2 influence. They're gonna have to like fight their way out of this pinch as like you cause a muscle spasm, and like an intestine, it just kind of like closes on them. A super gross image.
We love the city. We love the city. We love the city.
You have 2 actions remaining.
Yeah, I do. I think what would a ostensibly, can I have a firearm?
Yeah, absolutely.
What would
You've got a needle gun?
Yeah, exactly. I have my fucking whatever powers it. I forgot what it was called. But yeah, I think just, and then like quick react, just try to like bop. I can only attack once, but like fire at one of the guys.
For sure. Yeah. Roll. I'm gonna give you 3d6 because you definitely have an advantage on them.
Sure. Gotcha. 3d6. Okay, that's a 6. That's 2 successes.
They rolled 0 successes. You delete one of them.
Yeah,
So-
full on just plant.
This is just like ha ha ha, clonk, pa, 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 and then just like you take out this like wild, almost Halo-esque like thing that just shoots like horns. And it's like pluck, 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 and like it just like goes through their head and they're deleted.
Yeah, it's more. This is definitely not like quick draw sharpshooting. This is like panic, like quick fire.
You're like, well, while I have you like stuck together, let me just like actually just get right up
quickly
into you.
pull the trigger a few times. He's
It's
just panting and sweating.
It's still precision shooting if you don't miss a single shot. If you're shooting from 3 feet away,
Point blank.
it's hard to miss.
Yeah, exactly.
That was everybody's turn, so it's bad guys go now.
I believe that was one attack, right? I did, or is it that spent both actions?
Sorry, that's right. If you do, is there anything you want to do with your other action?
How far away would you say Eugene is from me?
You could get to Eugene in a single move.
Yeah, I would like to basically just, if I can, move very quickly to rush Eugene, grab Eugene, and tongue drag Eugene further out of the fray.
I will let that happen, especially because Harlan spent an action busting Eugene.
Would I generate a flow from moving quickly?
I don't think that anybody is in a position to threaten you.
Sure.
So
sure.
I don't think so in this scenario.
Okay.
But
cool.
You still do have 2 flow total, right?
1 flow.
1 flow. Oh, you were not the one who tailed. Right.
Right.
So you yoink Eugene. Eugene's like, give me no, we're gonna go to the enemies. One enemy is just going to try to get out of being screwed over. That explodes. That explodes. Okay, 2 successes. I don't think that 2 successes is actually enough, but they will spend their turn and be out. So 2 successes is enough to get out and have nothing in the tank. Next enemy is the Mook, who is going to attack. They're going to attack Edge, who looks a lot easier to hit than Harlan.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, actually, no. They're going to try. They're going to spend an action trying to move and close with Ren because they see that Ren has the hostage. So they're trying to move away from both Harlan and Ren. Neither of you have any points in like a movement mode, so you don't get to add dice to this, but you get to roll the normal 2 dice to just like try to stop them from moving. They're spending an action to move, but they need to beat both of you simultaneously to actually get this action off. Thankfully, they're fast little screwballs, so they roll 3 dice on this. They got 2 successes. So if either of you gets 2 successes on this, you will stop them.
That's 1 die that exploded twice for 3 successes.
Nice. So they go to move. A gigantic hand stops them from moving. They go, okay, fine. I can still attack Edge. So this is at Edge. They're rolling 3 dice. I think we talked. Edge is rolling
3 as well.
3? Yeah.
2, and I have 1 in tank mode.
Right. They only got 1 success.
I matched it.
Okay, so you take no damage. Big guy's turn. They're going to try to finish off. So they went up 2. They went up 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to dump their fury again. And this time they only have 2 fury left over. They're going to dump your fury again, try to finish off Harlan.
And I'm going to use shield mode on myself.
Okay.
So you see the
okay.
the sort of crystal, almost like pauldrons at this point, like glow brighter, and the shield gets like thicker in between us.
Okie doke.
So I'm gonna be rolling 8 dice.
Yeah, because you double your defense dice.
Yeah.
Jesus. You tell me how much you roll, and I'll tell you how much I rolled.
Okay, that's 3 explode. For another, so 1, 2, 7 successes.
7 successes. They rolled a total of 1 success. It becomes 3. It becomes 3 because of the spend, but that's really terrible. So the first time they attack you, they smash straight through your defenses. The second time, you hear their knuckles crunch against this like completely opaque shield that comes up. That's bad, guys. It's back to you guys. Also, Edge gets 2 total armor. All right, what would you guys like to do?
Could
I
I
have
go?
a fucking wild thought to throw out there. How many of the mooks are left?
There's a mook stuck in the wall, and then there's a mook that is still alive attacking Harlan.
Okay, so I'm just gonna. There is a scene. I'm prefacing this with a reference in Uncharted 3, where you get in a bar fight at the very beginning, and then like at the end of the scene, one of the dudes in the bar fight is revealed to have been like working with you, but it's just kind of like undercover.
Oh, do you want to use a
Could I
flashback?
flashback to establish that one of these mooks is actually a person on like of like circuit relevance who's like infiltrated the mob?
Yeah,
like
sure.
that we had like, or even not necessarily a circuit member, someone we like paid off into flashback, or just someone like to align with our interests. To, like,
so what
reveal that? Oh, actually, they're working with us.
You would like the effect of this to be that what happens?
That this is now like maybe it's the mook that Edge has been fighting with or whatever. It just that has like the little like and now moment, and they can like turn their focus mutually on the big guy.
Okay. This is better than killing somebody. I am going to have this be a roll. If you fail, they will flee.
Okay, makes sense.
This is just going to be 2 dice, and you want 2 successes.
Yeah, it's a gamble, but you know, at least it gets one of our things off the table. I rolled 2 successes. That's a 5 and a 4.
All right,
yeah, right on.
The next time it is enemy's turn, they will not contribute energy to the opposition, and they will aid you. Now I'm going to make a misfortune roll.
Yes.
Okay. Keep those results secret. Now it's still PC's turn.
I think Harlan had an idea.
Yeah, I think the big guy, he goes and tries to like do this like 1-2 punch again, and we hear his knuckles crack against the shield.
Yeah,
and immediately after the shield lowers, and like you see Harlan's fist going at this guy's face.
Okay, cool, sweet. Are you dumping?
And I'm gonna unload all
of
my fury, so I have 3 fury that I'm dumping on this. And I'll be rolling 3 dice for my attack.
Okay. They are going to be rolling 6 dice for their attack because they've been stashing away armor themselves.
Yeah.
And they're in shield mode.
Okay. Okay. So that's going to be 5, including my fury.
Including your fury. They only rolled 2 successes, even with doubling their defense dice. So elites have health just like y'all. So you deal 3 damage. This is such a like evenly matched battle because he's dealt 3 damage to you. Now you deal 3 damage to him. He only has 2 health left. And I think he's straight up like he sees that the remaining mook is turning. The other mook is just out of the bind that Ren put him in, and he's like, it's not worth it. I give. I give. Just go. Just go.
Ren is like at the back of this going on, but I think he will like, look between the group and looks over at Harlan. He's like, well, I mean, he's got to know something, right? He's got to know something.
Ask.
Okay. Fuck, I don't know. Like throws his arms up and like looks to both Edge and Harlan, like, help me out here.
Yeah, you just like from Harlan's point of view, you just see Edge kind of lean over on the side of this large man and look at him with his hand, like his claws out. He's like, "Hey, man, just say the word. If you're not gonna ask him a question, just tell me."
Harlan goes, the hive mind, 1402. How'd you do it?
The hive mind. That's what we're trying to ask them. Points to Eugene.
Wait, I'm sorry. You mean to tell me that you have no idea why the hive mind is in Redline hands?
Eugene says they thought that I'm because I work for Redline, they thought I stole it. That's where they got me.
What? Were you robbed? Pointing at the Zygosi people.
No, I didn't do any of that. No, it's what I told them that, but of course they didn't believe me.
Yeah, he looks at the Zygosi people and goes, like, are you missing any hive mind? Is that why you assumed? Like, it just
We're missing more hive mind than we sell in a month. And it's been getting yeah. You know that this amount is so slim. It's not enough to make the effect that you saw happen with the building. There's still something missing. I would like Ren to give me a you've got time if you want to go full chisel mode and add a die
Sure.
for your Gen Con. What's that put you at? 6 dice?
It'd be 6 dice. Yeah, I'll allocate
Go ahead
them.
and make another 3 difficulty check.
Okay, 6 dice. Oh my god, hot dice, hot dice. Let's get a roll going here.
Kind of 7 with your reroll.
True. 1. Jesus Christ. 1 success.
No,
With a reroll. So it's 1 success on 7 dice.
7 dice.
Welcome
1
to the club.
success.
Billy, I want my rolls back, please.
I siphoned it from you with my 7 successes a minute ago, I think.
Harlan, you can roll 2 dice and add 1 from chisel mode if you want to shift the energy in this moment. You have some time to catch your breath, and Edge can roll 2 dice flat because you always get 2 dice. Try to get us to 3 successes between the 3 of you.
Okay.
Yeah, Ren's too like panicky and confused and like adrenaline high to properly think things through at the moment.
I just got 3 on 2 dice.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you put that
I got 1
back
6,
into
but
these?
it didn't. It was only 1 success.
Nice.
Genetic modification. If you can bridge the gap between what you if somebody's trying to manipulate a building, maybe you just need some hive mind to get you going, and the rest can be bridged by genetic modification. So if you can get a building introduced to hive mind, maybe from there you can manipulate it into thinking that it's in withdrawal from hive mind.
You know
And
what I think
Because-
is I think is really poetic. Sorry, just to cut this in real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Is that like, because Billy, Edge is the one who got like all those successes. Our relationship is that Edge sees Ren as a bit of a mentor, and the idea, so like Edge being like, oh, it clicks into place because of his understanding of what like Ren is taught him, even though Ren does not see it at the moment. I think it's just a cool little, the dice reflected a cool story moment. Yeah,
I love that. You know that, you know something else. I think that Edge says that Ren, something finally clicks for you. The amount of hive mind that is missing with this hidden key unlocked, it goes from being a pittance to a lot of hive mind. You could do this to multiple buildings. Maybe this is just the one that Breadline has found out about. We're at 9 p.m. So that might be a place where we leave it off
dramatic
as
cliffhanger.
Eugene's disguise melts away and jewels reveals themselves.
God damn it, Harlan.
God damn it, Harlan.
Thank you very much. This has been Machine Impossible. We didn't get to complete the mission, but I did get to be a real stinker to all my players. If this looked fun, please check us out on the Plus One EXP store. Please sign up for Zine Club. And if you are having fun playing Machine Impossible at home, please tweet at Smiling Mythos Games with some details about your city. Please let us know all the crazy resources and bad guys and heartbreakingly bittersweet minor locations that you come up, like the Iron Lungs. Oh, my neighborhood air supply died and had a baby, and it kind of sounds like home. Pure poetry. I had so much fun playing this game with all of you. I hope that you all had as much fun playing with me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This is great.
Yeah, amazing time. So much fun.
And with that, we'll all wave at the camera and fade into oblivion. Good night, everybody.